Today's video is going to be almost like a podcast style, sit down and chill type of video. So grab yourself a beverage, sit back, relax. So I just turned 31 this week, and over the last 31 years, I have learned so much. And I remember when I was in my 20s, I always wondered what life would look like once I hit my 30s. This video is essentially for the younger version of myself and for those of you who are yet to enter your 30s. Life lessons and kind of little reminders that hopefully will help you love yourself more and love your life more. The first thing I want to share that I wish I knew in my 30s is a little cliche, but it is to never compare yourself to others. I have made the mistake of constantly comparing myself to other people when I was younger, and it not only hurts your self-esteem, but it also takes away from all the amazing things that you have going for yourself and all the amazing things about you. If you ever feel like you're in a place where you're in this lack mindset, right? Like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not doing this enough, I haven't reached enough goals, whatever. Count your blessings. Just 3 things that you're grateful for a day will literally change your mindset and put you into this abundant mindset, which will help you attract all the things that you really want in your life. And that will truly help you with being happy. This leads into the next thing that I would like to share, which is to give yourself credit for the little things that you've accomplished in life, okay? I have had a very difficult time giving myself credit for even the biggest things I've ever accomplished in life. I tend to brush things under the rug, and I do think it's also part of growing up Japanese, because in our culture, if someone praises you or tells you how amazing you are, it's always no, I'm not even close. Like, ignore all the things I've ever done because I'm unworthy. And I think I've had that ingrained in me for a very long time. Even if in certain cultures, maybe, you're not supposed to be walking around feeling the proudest of your accomplishment, I do still think that it's important to recognize and to just quietly give yourself a moment to give yourself credit for them. When I was younger, I used to think that if I didn't commit to a statement that I made about how I want to live my life or what I want to do with my career or opinions about things or people, that I was living this big lie and that I was this wishy-washy person. But you know what? It's okay to change your mind about things. And things happen, you change, people change. It's not the end of the world. Now, speaking of changing your mind about people, pay attention to how you feel when you're with somebody. If you don't like who you are when you're with someone, if someone is making you feel like you can't be yourself, like you have to walk around eggshells, then that is a sign that that person is not supposed to be in your close-knit circle. Maybe you can be acquaintances, but they're not your ride or die soul family, okay? People who are meant to be in your life, regardless, are supposed to help you grow, help you blossom, make you feel so good and amazing about yourself, and inspire you and lift you up, and they will be there for you in times of need. Pay attention to the people who are by your side during your highs and your lows. When you really need somebody, when you're really going through it, who are the people that gave you a call, asked you to hang out, checked in on you, made sure you are okay? Those are the people that you should be cherishing. Always respond with love, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how angry you are, no matter how upset you might be. I believe that love truly wins. Don't let people bring you out of character, is what I'm trying to say. If you're not one to throw tantrums and say mean things to people and make snarky comments, then don't let people turn you into that person. Trying to be a good person is a much happier life than living life hating everything and everyone and blaming everything and everyone. Something I wish I knew in my 20s is that not everyone is going to like you, and that's okay. I used to be a severe people pleaser, and I felt this need to be accepted and loved by everybody. And if I even sensed the slightest bit of somebody not liking me or I wasn't matching up with their vibe, I took it really personally and I started to feel really insecure about myself. But the older I get, I'm learning that it's a lot healthier and you will be much more happier if you only keep a handful of people who truly align with you, your values. There's absolutely no need to be liked by every single person. And once I really understood that, I've gotten much more protective of my energy and my time, and I feel like it really improved my personal relationships. And this leads into the next one, which is that some people are only meant to be in your life for a season. Some people enter your life at a time where maybe you need a certain group of people to support you because you're going through something difficult. Or maybe some people come into your life because you need to learn a big lesson. Sometimes you don't know why they come into your life and why they leave. And sometimes it can be heartbreaking and it could be sad. But not everybody is meant to stay in your life forever. And you know, honestly, whenever that happens, it actually just helps you see who your true soul family is. This again leads into my next one, which is that you do not need a big roster of friends as long as you have a handful of lifers. Having a big group of acquaintances can actually be quite lonely because you might not be able to have such a deep connection with every single one of those 20-30 people that you might call a friend. So when shit goes down, as long as I know I have a small handful of people that I can call my besties for life, then I'm good. I also want to say that people who you call your best friends might change over the years too. You know, don't worry if you're watching this and you're like, I'm not really sure about my friend group right now, or you maybe haven't met that person, but you are going to meet so many people throughout your life and so many new people who are gonna love you and adore you and be there for you in times of need, and you're gonna be fine. You know, when I was young, I used to ask myself, if you're not dating to marry, then what's the point of dating? But a big lesson that I learned is that you date to learn what you like, what you don't like, and your non-negotiables. From my experience, dating has really taught me my boundaries, like, you know, what I'm okay with and what I'm not okay with in a romantic relationship. And here's the thing, when you're younger and you're fresh into a relationship, you're so eager and desperate to make it work that sometimes you might let things slide even though you aren't actually okay with it. Even if your gut is telling you like, I'm not comfortable with this, you're eventually gonna learn like, oh, I can't be in a long-term relationship with somebody who has these kinds of qualities. And you'll also learn the things you like. I learned that I really love words of affirmation. So if you are single, I highly encourage you to go out, put yourself out there, go on dates, get to know a bunch of people, and just learn what your non-negotiables are. And this leads to the next one, which is that you experience the bad relationships so that you can enjoy the good ones. Every bad relationship, every breakup, every heartbreak is meant to lead you to someone who you're actually meant to be with. I also used to think that being upset or sad or frustrated or mad and showing those kinds of emotions were a sign of weakness, and therefore I used to hold all of my emotions inward and never ever show them. And I've quickly learned that that is not a healthy way to deal with your emotions. And if you feel the need to express that, then you should. And you can in a healthy and calm and communicative manner. Showing those kinds of emotions is totally normal, totally okay, and if anything, probably healthy. Learn to communicate and express your emotions because it will help you and it will teach you a very, very, very strong skill, the skill and the art of communication. I am a big perfectionist, and I've also always been someone who had really, really high expectations for myself. So I always felt like I needed to have my shit together all the time, 24/7, and that it was embarrassing if I ever had to ask or accept any help from anybody. Over the years, I've learned that a lot of people are actually more than happy to offer help, and there's nothing embarrassing about taking the help if someone is offering. And, I also learned that being able to lean back and accept someone's help or kind gesture is, in fact, a form of love. And you guys, it's okay to not have your shit together 24/7. We need to give ourselves some grace because we are only human and we are going to have good days, we are going to have bad days. But guess what? Self-care days are important. I used to be the type of person who felt guilty for taking a self-care day. And the reality is that you really need to listen to your body, otherwise you will burn out. If you feel like you don't have your shit together for a day or a week or for however long you're in your little rut, be kind to yourself. Do what you need to do to make yourself feel better in that moment. You fall in love and you think all the butterflies and the fireworks and the excitement and the flutters in your heart, and you think that's a sign of falling in love because that's how they market it in songs and on TV and in movies. But the reality is that fluttery feeling is actually anxiety. It's like, oh my God, does he like me back? Oh my God, are we gonna end up together? When you're with the right person, you're actually not gonna feel any of that, because sure, you might feel excited to see them and you might be very attracted to them, but they're not going to make you feel anxious or worried, because the right person should make you feel safe and make you feel loved and cared for. They would never make you second guess their intentions and feelings for you. Butterflies are warning signs. When I was younger, I used to feel like speaking up for myself was selfish, or it made me sound like a bitch. And that is in fact not true. Because if you don't speak up in moments when you really need to stand up for yourself, then you will get walked all over and you will eventually reach a point where you feel exhausted and used, and you're gonna feel like all of your kindness is gonna be taken for granted. I used to think that just tolerating everyone's shit was a way of being kind and a way for me to be liked and respected. It's actually the complete opposite. That is going to result in bad treatment over and over and over again until you really learn to speak up for yourself. Choose who you give your time and energy to wisely, because your time, your energy, your love is precious. Not everybody deserves your time, not everybody deserves your energy, and not everybody deserves your love. Being the people pleaser that I was in my 20s, I gave so much time and energy and love to the wrong people. And when that happens, you will run out of energy and love to give to the right people. I have made the mistake of thinking that if I reach a certain level of success, or if I reach a certain point in my career, that all my problems will be solved and I will instantly be happier and I will instantly be seen as a more respected, likable, and loved person. And none of that was true. I had to do a lot of inner work to get to a point where I am truly happy and content with who I am and where I am in my life, and it has nothing to do with where I am in my career. The truth is that if you work on yourself and what you need to do in order to become the best version of yourself, then everything else in your career and success will just seamlessly come and follow through. Don't put all of your self-worth into external validation, period. Because at the end of the day, how other people perceive you doesn't matter as long as you know who you are. And if you are striving to be the best version of yourself every single day, then that's all that matters. I remember when I was going through a time where I felt like there were people talking behind my back, saying negative things, and it wasn't a good feeling, and I was really letting it get to my head. And I had someone tell me, if you walk into a room and everybody is saying all of these amazing things about you, and this group of people are just, like praising you and telling you how amazing they think you are and how much they love you, you're gonna feel amazing, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, well, let's pretend that behind closed doors, where you had no idea, the same group of people were gossiping about you and saying negative, mean, snarky things about you, but you have no idea. Is that going to change how you feel about yourself? No, you're gonna feel amazing because they were telling you how amazing you are to your face. He was like, you can't let other people's perception affect how you feel about yourself. Learn how to manage, store, and save your money wisely, and you will thank yourself later. I only started really educating myself about finance maybe over the last 3 or 4 years, and I really, really wish that I started sooner, because if I did, then my savings and my net worth and everything would be much, much more than what it is right now. I like to make sure that my money is growing and it's stored in a safe place. I like to take advantage of things like the Roth IRA and things the government has. I have some money in the stock market, which is constantly growing. Instead of keeping my money in a normal bank account, I keep it in a high yield savings account, which again grows your money. And there are all these ways to grow your wealth that I feel like not a lot of young people talk about or know. I'll be happy to make a video on this topic if you guys are interested. Now that we're on the topic of money, it's never too late to start that thing you've always wanted to do. Like, for whatever reason, I feel like us humans feel more safe and comfortable to do whatever we desire to do when we have a set goal amount in the bank account. Like, starting a business was something I've always wanted to do, but I always felt like for whatever reason I needed a big chunk of investment money to start. Even something like starting a YouTube channel or creating content. Okay, like sure, you need to maybe buy a camera and buy equipment, but all of that's gonna be a write-off. Going back to the finance, if you study finance, you'll learn all of these tips and tricks to benefit you financially with the things you really want to do in life as well. Try to make as much time as you can with your parents and your family. There's this graph like online, and it says, the amount of time you spend with people in your life as your life progresses. And after the age of 18, the time you have with your parents significantly lowers. For me, like, my family lives in Japan, so I'm lucky if I get to see them once or twice a year. Once I started realizing that, like, oh my God, I only get to see my mom like twice a year for how many more years? it really made me think about the amount of time that I have left with my mom, my grandparents. When I do go home, I try to make time to have quality time with them. And also, if your grandparents are still alive and healthy, ask them questions about their life, about their upbringing, about your ancestors and your roots. This is such a special thing that you get to hear from them, you know, from people who lived in a very different time. And I'm very fortunate enough to have both of my grandparents on my dad's side very alive, very well, very healthy. And I have had some really amazing moments where they've opened up their albums and showed me who my ancestors were and all these stories about what it was like back then and how they met and everything. So, which is so fascinating to see and hear about. I really wish my grandparents on my mom's side were alive longer because I have so many questions and so many things I would have loved to hear from them. So yeah, cherish your time with your family while you can. And last but not least, I want to say that therapy is definitely not a scam. I have been therapy for the last 4.5 years now, and it has been an amazing experience. I feel like I grew so much as a person. I have learned to love and accept myself the way I am. I also understand myself on another level. Overall, therapy has just made me a much, much better person. And I don't know, I feel like, especially because mental health wasn't really talked about in Japan, it was really hard to even consider going to therapy and admitting that I needed it and that I wanted it. And the truth is that nothing has to be wrong with you to go to therapy. Like, you can be the happiest person and still benefit from therapy. I truly believe that everybody needs it and everybody should have it. I want to put that out there, and I think me being able to create this video and to have all these life lessons that I've learned over the last 31 years of my life, a lot of the growth really did come from therapy and from self-awareness and being on this journey of wanting to be the best version of myself and bettering myself. That concludes my video of 30 things I wish I knew in my 30s. I hope this was fun. I hope this gives you some sort of positive influence in your life, wherever you're at in your life right now. I really enjoyed creating this video. I feel like this was one of the realest heart-to-hearts that I've had on camera ever in my history of being on the internet. So hopefully you guys are able to take something positive out of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.